Hi, Sam here with a homestead box, and today we're gonna use February seed starting box to get some seeds started here. It is a hot day here in South Georgia. We got about 80 degrees here. Feels more like spring, but we're still gonna pot these up and let them start off in the greenhouse. So what you're going to need for your project today is basically everything in the box. Basically everything in February's box. So we're going to start with a strip of Coir pots, coconut Coir pots. You're going to need your potting soil, your Dram one-touch watering wand with the standard head and the faucet nozzle. You can use your trowel if you have it, but I prefer to use my hands. Trowels are better for transplanting and stuff like that. You're going to need some garden labels and something to write on them with. Sharpie marker works great. So today we're going to plant Yellow Pear tomato. Yellow Pear is a variety that we chose because it makes huge, prolific bushes that they don't trellis well. You really need to put these in cages. It's a really big, indeterminate bush and produces loads of these golden pear-shaped tomatoes. Do yourself a favor, don't get those cheap cone tomato cages. A Yellow Pear tomato bush will destroy one of those. Get yourself some good quality square tomato cages. They tend to be a lot more heavy duty and can hold these up just fine. So the first step in our project is to get some soil inside the pots. So we're going to just use our hands, just fill up these strip pots. Now I'm going to do a whole strip of yellow pears. I really like salad tomatoes. You can do 4 plants in one, 4 plants in the other. Just make sure you label them appropriately. We want to get that nice and even. Get a good amount of soil. It helps if you're working on a surface that can get both dirty and wet. And you're going to allow for a little bit of soil compression. Not like that. Next, we're going to use our standard head to really get this nice and wet. Don't be afraid. A lot of people underwater their potting soil because you've got to soak down to the core of this and soak these pots. So really put the water to it. Alright, good rule of thumb is to plant your tomato seeds twice as deep as the thickness of the seed, which tomato seeds aren't very thick, so they don't need to be planted very deep. So just make a small indentation in each cell. Open your seed packet gently. There's a adhesive part at the top. You don't have to rip these open. And you've got tons of seed per packet. So we're going to aim at about 2 seeds per cell here. I just pop them in there. Almost got the perfect amount of seed. Just need one more. The next step is to just lightly dust over the top of these seeds. Now for this, You want the finest bit of potting soil you can find, so it's easier just to sprinkle it like this. We don't want any of that. We're just going to sprinkle over these. Make sure they're covered. You don't have to cover them super deep. Small seeds. Next step, go ahead and take your fine nozzle, and just moisten the top. That's all it takes. The final step is to label your seedlings. So that you know what they are. And then move them to the greenhouse. So the next step is just to move these to your heat mat that's plugged into a heat source. Here at the office we have a greenhouse, but if you don't have a greenhouse, you can plant these, you can put these in a warm room in your house or a windowsill. Just something that you don't mind getting a little wet, because you will have to water these ever so often. So these are some of our aroma tomatoes that we planted about 2 weeks ago. Once your seedlings come up, you're going to need to thin it so that there's only one seedling per pot. And then it'd be a good idea, after they get about 4 inches high and about more than 4 true leaves, you're going to want to move them to a 3-inch pot like this, or there's 3-inch Coir pots, there's 3-inch cow pots, any kind of larger container before you transplant them into your garden. So now that you have those yellow pear planted, we gave you 3 varieties of tomatoes, 2 varieties of eggplant, and 2 varieties of pepper. So make sure you get all those started now, so that when the weather warms up, those will be ready to go in the garden as transplants first thing. And as usual, if you have any questions, just post them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and like our video. Thanks.